Hi, welcome to Back 40 Auto Works. My name is Jeremy Stanley. My friends call me Styles. If you've been following along in my builds, and I think if you have, you know there's been a bit of progress made, but not a tremendous amount. Didn't get a video posted last week. I apologize for that. Things have just been too busy. Um, so the Buick 5.3 is sitting in it, as you can see. Um, there are still some things to do, however. We did move the motor mounts back. Got the manifolds test fitted. We notched the cross member. So the oil pan would fit. The oil pan that was supposed to bolt in anyway and didn't. However, it's on there. Right now it's just sitting there mocked up. The throttle bodies. Someday that's going to make some noise. However, I needed to come back out one last time because I need to measure my transmission mount tab and pull that, add to that a little bit so that my transmission will bolt down in place. Right now it is sitting on the factory motor mounts with the LS adapter plates, so it's where I want it to be. I would like to lock it down there for good. So as I said, I want to take it out, fix that transmission mount to where it should be, and then I will scuff it a little bit and paint where I notched the cross member. I was going to paint the whole engine bay and everything, but I don't know if we'll go that far right now. And after that is where I want it to be, I'll drop the motor back in place, lock it down for the last time, which I can't wait. And when that's done, then I will, of course, put the manifolds on. As I mentioned before, I have to change the power steering pulley. You go from this LS one, which is a bit too big, to the Surveyor pulley. Hopefully we'll be able to get that to work. I gotta pull some busted manifold bolts up, which, as any of you know, these 4.8, 5.3, 6-liter engines is a fairly common thing. That's gotta happen. So in a few minutes, I'm gonna go down to the candy van and see if I have a manifold, because my manifold on the passenger side is busted. I think I have another. If not, I'll have to buy one. So that needs to happen to get the motor back in, locked down in place, to put the Buick outside, to pull the Hudson in. Now, as you've seen before, the Hudson she was in a fire. She's an awful mess. She's pretty well bare metal and rust, but it's going to have to come in here. That doesn't mean work's going to stop on the Buick right away. Of course, it might take a break, or I'll have to get at the Hudson as soon as I can and try and get that rust addressed. Then I got to figure out what's going to happen to it for a powertrain, because I still don't know. Anyway, we'll go down to the van and see if I can find the manifold and carry on from there. What are you girls up to? What? I see. Oh, here comes some more. All right. Back down in the field here where I keep the van full of parts. Tried to move this van the other day to make room in the pit to put some of these rigs at a site, but of course the fuel pump died right where it's at. So it's going to stay there. And I see I have some followers. All right, we'll have a peek in here and see if we can find a manifold. Maybe the other side. I might have another manifold laying over there. Maybe the other side of that engine. All right, I'll have to open the back door and have a look. I'm pretty sure I might have one right down in there. Well, this passenger side manifold's busted too, right here. So I guess I'll have to find another one. However, I do still have these flanges, which I was hoping I had. So that's going to help when the exhaust system, help when I go to have the exhaust system made. So I guess no manifolds on tonight. Anyway, I'll have to find a passenger side manifold. Or maybe pull one off one of these rigs. One on this old Silverado here. It was going to be used for the Imperial. I don't know if you can see, but it's pretty well broken in the same place. Some hoses out of the way. Yeah, right there. Busted between them two bolts. All right. Guess we're looking for another manifold somewhere else. Come on, girls. Let's go. Come on, come on. Chickens are just part of things here. Come on, you. We got them all. There we go. All right, so I guess we'll just start pulling the motor back out of the Buick and get working on that cross member. I think I'll duck underneath first and measure and see where the bolt wants to be for the transmission cross member, and then we'll yank this out. So one of the wiser voices in my head said to me, do we really need to take that transmission out of there? I mean, there's enough room above it that we could put the jag over here and maybe lift it enough to get enough room to weld the bracket in there. You know, those wiser, lazier voices seem to come up with some pretty good ideas, so I'm thinking we may try that. If we do that, then all I really need to do is fire the spray can up there underneath that cross member, and then we can lock her down. I mean, this is the back 40. We're not doing anything professional at all. This is done on the cheap, as long as it's safe. Anyway, I may try and do that. If I can lift that transmission tail shaft just high enough to weld a bracket on there without burning myself to death and make it strong, I think that's what we'll do. I need to cut about 3 inches wide, roughly right about here, and I need to go 2 inches up here to where this other side of this mount, and then I'll drill a hole, maybe a slotted hole for this to go through, and that should be all I need to do. Shouldn't have to really take anything out of here. All right, so we're going to assume that I have a straight eye. I know, just run with it. We'll see what happens. And we're going to make a bracket here. Same old steel we used for mounting the cross member. And I'm going to need a bracket that's basically 3 by 2. So 2 inches this way, 3 inches this way, plus the fact that we're going to have something to fold over. So maybe what I'll do is actually make it 4 inches. So I have just about a ½ an inch of a flap to weld to the existing transmission mount. So I weld 3 sides, make it a little stronger, and of course we'll drill a slotted hole in there. We'll see how it goes. Here's my 2 inches. So instead of just going 3, I'm going to go 4. I will measure 3 inches. So ½ an inch here, ½ an inch here. That should effectively give me 3 inches. Probably should not be using a speed square, but it's going to work. So now I'm going to fold over these and these. So 4 and 4, 2. We'll call that dead center. So basically you can look at my bracket. What's going to be, there is my rectangular shape, 2 inches long, 3 inches wide. We'll fold those tabs over so there's something to weld on. I think I'll get my drill first and I'll drill my holes and oblong them, and then we'll get the grinder going. Alright, so here's the extension for my transmission bracket. It's not perfect, because I'm not perfect, but it'll do. We will weld it across here and up these sides here and put it on the mount and see how it goes. I'm pretty sure I can get the jack under there without too much trouble and give myself enough room to weld that in there without taking the motor and transmission out. Alright, so as you can see, I got my new transmission bracket held in place by the welding magnet there. We're going to try and see if we can weld that in place, and hopefully we'll be able to let the thing down. My transmission is just above that. Hopefully we don't burn the rubber part of that mount. We'll give her a shot and see what happens. Alright. I'd say that's got her. Oh, this corner here. Should have her. Everything in the shop seems to squeak. Even my welder squeaks and makes noises. Well, anyway, that's the bracket on there. One more task finished. That's not coming off. We will drop that. A few minutes, we'll drop that transmission down and put a nut on it. And I think what we'll do then is just lock everything in place. Just fire a bit of paint on some things, and it's good. I'm glad I didn't really want to take that motor and transmission out. Worked out not too bad. All right, boys. Transmission mount is extended and done. One more piece of the puzzle. One more step closer to the swap being done. My mediocre fab skills aren't too awful bad. I'm not going to bother grinding the weld off. We'll just say we'll leave that there for strength. So that's actually going to be it for this video. That little bit has taken me a couple hours. The next video you see hopefully will be the Buick put together enough to go outside, and Hudson will have to come in. At least now I'm able to lock the motor down in a place where I want it without having to take it out again. That part of the swap I can call done. Yeah, I should probably paint the welds, and I'll probably will throw a splash of paint on the cross member and stuff for now. But in the meantime, that's the bulk of the LS swap done for me for a little bit till I get the Buick in, or the Hudson in here. The rest of it I can do outside, and we'll get into that very soon. Actually, I want to get out the wiring harness and get at that. I got to go have the computer, have the vats wiped, and that kind of stuff. And I'm gonna have to get a manifold. As you saw, I don't have another good one, so I do have gaskets in the bolt kit, so we're good there. And there is also still the power steering pump to swap, the pulley, I mean. So, all right. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. The more people that subscribe, the more time I can spend out here. Thanks. Bye.